Ladies and gentlemen, you're in the game. It is Whirlwind, and in the bottom right, currently leading 4-2 from Team FXO, it is Leenock. Leenock is facing off against his opponent in the top right-hand corner from Western Wolves. In the yellow, he is Terran. He is Sting.
That's right. So Sting now, we'll see what he can do. I mean, he had a very aggressive build last game. Didn't work out that well for him. Tried to super macro his way out of it, putting down the 4 orbital commands in total. Was never really able to get off of 2 bases, though. And the drop follow-up from Leenock was able to pretty much smash him flat.
I will say that Sting has done a good job of being very unpredictable. But the reality is his builds, shall we say, Sting's builds haven't had any bite.
Right.
He's, often caught Leenock off guard, and even when he did, he just couldn't seem to even secure the damage that you would expect. Especially, I mean, it was so, well,
we've seen this.
Obvious in that last game.
Proxy 11-11, Rax, coming out here for Western Wolf Sting. If at first it doesn't succeed, try again.
If actually, and second and third time it doesn't succeed, your opponent will never expect it again. I like it, man, to be honest. I like that Sting is trying to break all the rules here. And this is really cool, but because when people play him in the future, if he doesn't do this, his opponents will be so honest.
Right. Yeah, they'll certainly be expecting it. Leenock's just gotten tired of trying to look for this now. So he's going to send an Overlord here up to the top right, 1 Overlord down to the bottom left, and he doesn't Drone Scout. So if you would pick up on the Zelnaga Tower, of course he'd see this, but doesn't really have that possibility. Looks like first barracks is now done. He's going to check the Zelnaga Tower just to make sure there's nothing around, and there's not.
All right, well, he doesn't know where his opponent's at quite yet, so we do see that SUV heading off to the bottom left-hand corner. Worst case scenario, you are in the furthest possible spawning positions. And so the SCVs that you're inherently going to have to bring here, well, you want to know if it's going to be a long trip. And when he sees they're not here, he now knows, okay, I don't have to send them immediately. And well, he knows it's a hatch first, of course, out of Leenock, so turns around right away.
He's comfortable enough with the fact, though, that he doesn't see the second hatch to know that his opponent's going to be down here. Thankfully for him, it's there, but we know Leenock has a tendency every once in a while to go for some sort of a quick...
a 10 pull.
Yeah, exactly. And that would have hit just at about that time.
We probably would have seen the Lings at that point, so I guess that is a pretty calculated risk, let's say, out of Sting. And here come the SCVs, folks. Sting getting ready for his pressure, and there was no Overlord there, so... this bunker is only now going to be seen.
I'm sure Leenock is used to this by now, and it's like, oh, God, I got to deal with this again. But can he deal with it? This is a very strong attack. There's a lot of SCVs that are pulled. The workers not actually reacting. It looks like we're having a repeat of a couple of games ago where Sting just ended up going for this and killed that first hatchery and then mounted an attack into the main later on.
Hatchery is looking like it's going to be slain here. But, Leenock's reacting differently this time. In this situation, he's getting a lot of Zerglings. Last time he kind of went for drones and spawn crawlers and actually just died. And this time, he's playing it safe. Lings, Baneling Nest. That's the name of the game. Will he go for the inject? Of course not.
And nice job, actually, once again, pulling away from the Broodlings, making sure that he had the strongest army possible to face this. And the Queen and Lings that are down here in the bottom right are actually going to get cut off.
Yeah, they are. A nice play here from Sting. He's going to pick off this Queen almost... he just doesn't like killing units. No, I'm just kidding, guys. Lings coming around from the back, getting a decent surround here, actually.
Yeah, but now everything's back to the bunker, so that's going to be more than fine. He's going to try and chase these units down once again. Sacrifices his SCVs to get that done, though, and that is a little bit dangerous, especially as that Baneling Nest just about finishes up.
Well, this is where you separate the great players from the god players, because we want to see the Sting right now. He's not. You want to repair those SCVs. Put them on auto queue repair, so when they stop, they heal each other up. But in this situation, now he's down to just 1 SCV. Speed is finished. Doing what he can here with these Lings with speed is Leenock, but not enough.
Yep, and that's going to be a couple of dead queens here. First one uses a transfusion. There's nothing over inside of the main, so the production is actually quite slow. Even though the rest of those SCVs and Marines did end up falling, the bunker is still holding. There's still a few units left in there.
All right, well, he does have a lot of money, Leenock, right now. 300, 200. Could be making quite a quantity of Banelings. I'm actually surprised he's not. Like, with that Ling with 5 hit points, probably will.
Right. But this is, I mean, what is the follow-up from here? I mean, does he decide to do a big Baneling all-in at his opponent's base? We see 2 more barracks being constructed now.
Yeah, there are. And the barracks there make it very easy that if Sting sees some sort of Baneling, a big big number of Lings run by, and it's obvious he's going for a Baneling bus. Well, Sting can just build a barracks behind that supply depot.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. So we'll see now what what Sting wants to do, because I'm more curious about his follow-up, because now he's splitting against any sort of a big push from this. Leenock is forced to make as many units as is humanly possible, and Sting is actually going to commence round 2 of this momentarily. Yes, he keeps building up his SCV count, reinvesting back into his economy, but it's still going to be a while before he's able to really effectively use that and put down another base.
Definitely. Nice creep spread, though, going to allow the Spinecrawler to get down on to the low ground, going to try to secure the position with these Queen's Lings coming forward. They should be able to hold this. And all he needs here is the Spinecrawler to finish. He does have transfuses available for the Lynx as well.
Yeah.
And yeah, he's going to be able to clean this up very nicely.
Oh,
Leenock.
One queen does end up falling, though, but yeah, you're right. He does end up getting out of this. But, of course, Sting has not built another command center. He has just built the 4 racks follow-up to this and is looking to put on some serious pressure once again.
This is pretty risky. Will he throw down the safety bunker or barracks behind this? You know, he definitely, because we've got Banelings. That's going to be what we see here. Lynx coming up the ramp right now does lose 2 of them, which is actually a little bit of a blow. But here the Banelings morphing in. The Marine's going to come down the ramp. They're going to scout this. This is so huge for Sting. He will now be able to build something behind that supply depot.
Yeah, and he's already pulling things to the front, starting finally a second command center, but a big Baneling follow-up to this. He's got to get these Marines into the action, so if he can find a way to hold on for just a little while, he's actually going to be in a pretty decent spot, because he'll be able to flank these Banelings or these Zerglings really effectively.
Goes for the supply depots because they do build faster. Baneling's going to be coming forward now, going to get in a lot of damage no matter what, but Baneling's being wasted. Oh, that's really nice for Sting, and only a couple of Zerglings are able to slip inside. Even a Baneling, beautiful target fire as well, and Sting is going to hold this.
Yeah, Sting holds that no problem at all. Leenock does have 2 bases down now, and he is, let's see here, relatively equal in terms of overall economy, overall worker count, I should say, but the economic advantage is definitely going to go to Sting, who now has his 2nd orbital command very nearly finished.
Oh, it is, and he's up 38 supply right now to just 25. Leenock has that 2nd hatchery established, but he's got a big counterattack from Sting headed towards his natural expansion, and Leenock is now making Zerglings so that he can make some Banelings to try to hold this off.
And the thing is that Leenock can't invest in anything else, because even just the threat of a possible counterattack is enough to force Leenock to stop making drones, because if he doesn't, then he just dies to a big counterattack. If he overmakes it, then he dies in the late game because his economy can't match his opponents.
Right, and Leenock may try to force an engagement here because he needs to kill off these Marines. As you just pointed out, the threat, if these Marines come up the ramp right now and then Sting comes up, he says, good, I made you make Banelings, and tries to back off. Well, this Marine count is actually huge compared to what Leenock has right now. Banelings coming forward. Leenock really wants to kill these Marines.
Yeah, the Spinecrawler, he's done a really nice job of ducking in and out, though, and getting the Spinecrawler fed with kills. Already 4 kills to its credit, and Leenock, he wants to be able to bait this army back onto the high ground, so he's going to use his Queen to try and get that done.
And he's going to get a little bit of long-range damage in right now. This Marine going to be picked off. That's a free 50 minerals.
And that's really what it's a war of right now, just small economic advantages, ways to bring your way back into this. And now Leenock, I mean, he's basically full-on just going to bust this here in a second. That's his plan.
Leenock is still mining off of gas with 3 drones, even though he's already sitting on 450. That's pretty astounding. Here he comes with his Lings right now, surrounding. Nice splitting, though, out of Sting. These Banelings not making contact with any more than a single Marine, and Sting playing so well right now, Kevin.
Yeah, I mean, that was a really cool maneuver from Leenock there. He actually moved the Spinecrawler 1 hex forward. He wasn't doing that to try and catch any more Marines or anything. He wanted to force the engagement from Sting, but he didn't expect how good the splitting would actually be.
And Leenock has way too much gas right now. Still sitting, he's still mining off of that extractor, as we see, with 3 drones. And, I mean, he's got +1 on the way, but maybe we'll see an Evo chamber here in a moment. I mean, he's sitting at almost 400. He's going to start up that lair, maybe move for some quick Spire or Infestor play. I mean, Infestor would be fantastic with these 4 barracks on the field.
A lot of Marines still being produced at a time now for Sting, though, who is finally going up to a 3rd base. No factory in sight, no engineering bay. So Lair Tech with a big Muta follow-up still could do some significant damage, although I think we're in agreement. Sting does have pretty darn good control of this game and could make another big attack right now.
Yeah, he's got combat shields halfway down, and that is going to make Baneling so much less effective versus his army. He is moving out for the push, and, I mean, sometimes we do see players strike before combat shields, but with it this close, I would like to see Sting just wait for that.
Yeah, we'll see here. It's, what, less than 30 seconds away, only 25 seconds away. So we can do another thing again where he splits, forces out a ton of Zerglings from his opponent, then decides to push up here in just a bit. Zerglings and Banelings, of course, with no upgrades. Doing that 35 damage here in a second. It looks like they're going to push out immediately. Baneling, a couple of Zerglings go down. It looks like Sting actually wants to fight this, losing yet more units, but doing a nice job of target firing down those Banelings again.
Combat Shields does kick in, though, so each of those Marines getting a nice 10 hit point boost, and now they're going to be falling back with Stim and +1 starting up for Sting. Looks like Leenock's going to try to catch these forces, though, on their retreat path.
Yeah, but that's very, very risky one way or another. Maybe he'll try and go all the way around them, and that looks like what he's going to do, but the issue is that Sting, once again, has enough forces prepared that's not going to work. Oh, Sting, watch out! Oh, and he actually almost let those Zerglings get into the main.
Yeah, it did. Leenock, though, is very good with these Zergling counterattacks. The Marines and Lings still doing a little bit of a dance of death. Sting is going to be dropping additional refineries behind this and maybe begin teching up as we see a factory currently on the way. If he can accompany this with some medevacs, he's going to have a very potent and difficult to deal with force for Leenock, who only has managed to afford those melee upgrades.
Layer tech is done now, but of course he's using that layer tech for centrifugal hooks and nothing else at the moment. No higher tech facilities, nothing coming out along those lines. Big Zergling counterattack incoming. And actually, Sting doesn't really have a lot prepared for this.
Oh, but Leenock is stopping, and that is allowing Sting to get into position, and now we may have a base trade on our hands. No, Leenock is stopping to morph 8 additional Banelings, and that's not at all what he needs. The units of Sting are completely out of position. If Leenock had run in there, Kevin, we very easily could have had a win for Leenock and tie this thing up, but as it stands, Leenock is still waiting for his attack.
That's right. Is he actually going to flank? Is he going to continue pressing ahead? My God, he is making a lot of Banelings. 3 Marauders are being produced at a time. Stimpack is not quite done, nor is it going to be over the course of this fight, which does weaken the DPS of this army considerably. But of course, there are no medevacs on the field, so it's not like this damage is going to be permanent.
And no Stim quite yet. Leenock surrounding units in the back. Right now, they're in a very good position, though, to engage against these Zerglings with the +2. It looks like it was canceled. Yeah, he did cancel that to finish those Banelings, but not many Marines left at all.
No, I mean, this is not many Marines left, but look at this. I mean, all these workers are being killed, and the entire time, Leenock's not done anything with this massive group of Banelings.
This
That's
is
40 Banelings.
It's insane. If he had actually attacked with those earlier on, I mean, we're saying probably would have wrapped things up, but now he's just waiting. Looks like Sting is moving out with some additional reinforcements. He's got to be wondering where the money is for Leenock, and it's right here in all these Banelings.
That's right. Stim is done, and Sting's actually... Yeah, he's going to have to come back right now. Will he pull back with these forces? Yes, Stims those up, runs in. The Banelings are actually going to cause massive amounts of damage, but will they be able to kill Sting? Because that's what he needs them to do.
Yeah, he does, and with Stim, these units should be able to split pretty nicely. The Banelings do almost no damage to the Marauders, and suddenly we have a 40 supply Zerg who's going to be tapping out of the game.
GG. Sting brings back another game after a crazy 11-11. Rax again ends up that one succeeding, but in a little bit weirder fashion.
Yeah.
Took a while, but it got done. Sting is 2 games away from taking the set.
Yeah, he is 4-3 right now, folks. Leenock still, of course, on match point, but now he does get to pick the map. It's been a while since that's happened for him. I wonder if it's going to be Daybreak. It's Daybreak.
Yes, it is. Daybreak is going to be the map. Once again, Leenock is just 1 game away from taking the entire set. Sting, though, trying to rally back. He wants to tie things up with this game. We're going to go to a commercial break, and when we get back, it'll be time for game number 8 of IPL Fight Club.